Greetings, Pastor Michael. Today is November 14, and I have for us to share a reading from One Day at a Time in Al-Anon. Today's reading topic is about gratitude. Gratitude is defined as the readiness to show appreciation and to return kindness. Now, this statement about gratitude says an awful lot. Often we think that all we need to do is show appreciation. Hey, I'm thankful for what you've done. I'm grateful. My gratefulness is expressed in my gratitude. But let's listen carefully. There's one more step to this definition, and that is the readiness to return kindness, which means that in order to complete the demonstration of your gratitude, you need to communicate with that other person what it is that you are grateful for, and then return the kindness. Wow, we can all do this. Let's start today if we haven't already engaged this. Now I'd like to get on with the reading for today. It seems strange, when I think of it, that God is most vivid to my consciousness when I am in the depths of despair. And all I can say to him is, God, help me. And he does help us when we turn to him in our great need. For man's extremity is God's opportunity. An equally imperative reason for prayer is to acknowledge our gratitude. Gratitude is in itself a wholesome and healing force, and it becomes all the more real when we make it a regular part of our prayer life. Those of us who lived so long with alcoholism and can now enjoy the recovery of a loved one from this sickness have good reasons for prayers of gratitude. Today's reminder: I will keep myself aware of the many blessings that come to me each day and remember to be thankful for them. And in closing our reading, we have a quote from Khalil Gibran in The Prophet. You pray in your distress and in your need. Would that you might pray also in the fullness of your joy. Well, here ends today's reading, a very interesting one and very timely, because on November 14th, we realize that in our country, United States of America, we celebrate Thanksgiving. This year, it will be in less than 2 weeks, on November 26th. So let's develop in ourselves, if it's not already present, an attitude of gratitude. Now, before we go on with our discussion in today's video, I would like to invite everyone who is listening at any time, whether it be on today, at this time, or another time. You can contact us through email, and we are very interested in hearing from you because what you have to say is important to us. The address for the email is minister@spiritofpeace.us. And in the subject line, put Al-Anon or grateful or whatever it is that you want to visit with us over. And in the body of the email, put whatever has prompted you to contact us. And we sure look forward to hearing from you. Now, to go on with our very poignant and interesting reading for today, we see that there's an awful lot to be said and heard in this reading. And this is about how we turn to God. Well, very often we turn to God when we're most in need, and God is always there to hear us. His shoulders are wide, and they can carry a great load. all of us believers can fit on his shoulders with the worst that we experience in our lives. But there's so many reminders in today's reading that we should not only approach God with prayer in our worst days, but we should also pray to him when we're full of happiness and when we want to show him gratitude and we're ready to return the kindness that he has granted to us. Wow, this says an awful lot, and it makes our lives much more meaningful. Now, what I have to add to our reading today is a reading from the Bible. And we can turn to Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 and 7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. The peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Jesus Christ. What Paul is telling the churches in Philippi is that we should always turn to God. The prayer, the thoughts should be on our lips and just roll off of our tongues. And this is very important. This is a very good way to greet God and have an exchange with God. Of course, God's listening to us, even in our most normal quiet moments when we really don't feel like being very formal about addressing him, and we just shout out, "Oh, God, help me," you know? And God considers that a prayer. So let us remember to thank God for those times when we have been in despair, asked him to help, and he's come through. Even though we have to admit that he doesn't always come through the way we expect, with the response or the resolution that we expect. But when it's all over and the dust is cleared and we look back, we more likely than not can say, well, I understand. Now, our music ministry team has found a song that's very relevant to today's topic of gratitude. The name of the song is Gratitude, and it is sung by Nicole Nordman. If you turn to spiritofpeace.us and search on Al-Anon, One Day at a Time, and Gratitude, you'll be able to find this posting. If you go to our Facebook, to Spirit of Peace Church, and then go to Spirit on the A's, you will also be able to find this message. And you'll find the link to the music. And in this song, Nicole says, "Send some rain. Would you send some rain? 'Cause the earth is dry and needs to drink again. And the sun is high and we are sinking in the shade. Would you send a cloud, thunder long and loud? Let the sky grow black and send some mercy down. Surely you can see that we are thirsty and afraid. But maybe not today. Maybe you will provide in other ways. And if that's the case, we will give you thanks with gratitude for lessons learned in how to thirst for you, how to bless the very sun that warms our face. If you never send us rain, daily bread, give us daily bread. Bless our bodies, keep our children fed. Fill our cups, then fill them up again. Tonight wrap us up and warm us. Through tucked away beneath our sturdy roofs, let us slumber safe from danger's view this time." What a wonderful prayer. and it's so meaningful. I'd like to close today with a much shorter supplement to this prayer. Dear God, thank you so very much for all the times you've been there in our times of need. And we are going to take this opportunity to be grateful for all those blessings you have given us when we've needed them most, and turn to you and say, Dear God, thank you, and what can I do for you today? And listen for the answer. Have a wonderful day today. May you find serenity and peace in your life. May God bless you. Amen.